is a woman.
Mm.
He asked it of like the activist, transgender person who just changed her gender into a woman. He asked it of the doctors who were performing the surgery at, I think, John Hopkins College, medical, whatever. He asked every single one of them. He ambushed them. His ambush journalism was wicked, but it was powerful. Okay, so what is a woman? He asked them, and nobody could give a definitive answer to what is a woman. What is a woman?
I believe you cannot define a woman just based on, one standard, maybe the physical or the spiritual. Both of them come together. So the Bible says he made them in his image and in his likeness. So if we're going to define the woman, in fact, many of the wars are around the image, so she has a body, she has a womb, she has a that. All of that is true, because the image and the likeness needs to be complete. So in the image, a woman, yes, is a female vessel that carries a spiritual office that is a product of a nature of God that has been given to her. And so God said it is not good for man to be alone. And when you look at the word good, is the Hebrew word tov. And the word tov is actually the inherent ability that a thing possesses to be able to replicate the will of God in future generations without the intervention of God. So God said it is impossible for man to replicate his will in future generations if he does not have a woman. You then realize that good for God was not just, oh, this is nice. Good is the measurement of God's will and the ability of that will to continue to reproduce itself in the future. Now, he said it is not possible for that to happen unless there's a woman. And so God creates this being that has the capacity to not only dwell with the man in the bodily form for companionship and satisfaction, but has the capacity to consistently measure the seasons and the journeys of man to ensure that it can replicate God's will in the future. Mm-hmm. So a woman is a spiritual being that journeys with the man, following God's government that he has given to the man as a blueprint, ensuring that there's a replication of God's goodwill in the future. And she does that in the spirit and in the physical by producing children, but in the spirit by producing God's will, walking alongside the man.
So interesting. And, when God said it's not good, one might also argue that it was equally as bad when the woman came in, because all this chaos happened, all this bad happened, something God said it's not good for him to be alone for. So when you think about how much bad happened when Satan hacked that reproductive system to replicate sin around the world, imagine what good would have happened if Adam had hacked that system by God's order and replicated life.
Exactly.
So it just goes to show the pivot that woman really has in changing the outcomes of the world, really. So let's go